What's going on, gamers? So with the House of Wolves right around the corner, I thought it was a good time to take a closer look at those who would be our new host in the Reef, the Awoken. But before I can get into that, I have a few shoutouts to give. So I want to give shoutouts to Scuff Buff Gaming, Kendall and Jordan, Carrie Manning, Salvador Nuno, Lord Dragon, and Ghostly Found You on Twitter for taking a second to follow me there as well. There was an event that forever changed the universe of Destiny. It was known as the Collapse. The Golden Age and everything gained from it seemed to have ended. But one thing was gained during the Collapse: the birth of a new race, the Awoken. In a last attempt to flee what was sure to be certain death during the attack on Earth, humanity took any ships they could to leave the planet. Now, it's common knowledge that the Traveler sits dormant above the last city. The reason it sits dormant is because during that attack of the darkness, it chose to defend Earth. The speaker refers to the darkness as a cosmic force that swept over our planet. It's my belief that in that moment of the Traveler's release of its own cosmic force, the light, the mix of the two energies had an effect on the fleeing humans. This is from the Grimoire card, the Awoken. The others sing this song of light and dark. We, together, have transcended such unimaginative limitations. It is said that the Awoken were born in the Collapse, descended from those who tried to flee its wrath. Something happened to them out there on the edge of the deep black, and they were forever changed. I think the battle of light and dark is what triggered this change. So the Awoken now traveled until they found refuge. The place where they chose to stop and scavenge for supplies was the asteroid belt. Now, the asteroid belt is a region of the solar system located roughly between the orbits of the planets Mars and Jupiter. It is occupied by numerous irregularity shapes of bodies called asteroids or minor planets. The belt, however, is key to everything. The asteroid belt in Destiny, however, is a great band of nothingness, speckled with unimaginable wealth. Once a treasure trove for the Golden Age industry, the belt now is a haunted place where fallen pirates and Awoken patrols skirmish among the whispering carcasses of ancient machines. Among the asteroids drifts the Reef, lashed together from the ruined ships of an ancient exodus. This is the report of a derelict vessel boarded in the first known voyage to the Reef. 1,100 meters in length, active gravity generation, residual heat, fast neutron scatter, designation code corrupted. Date of commissioning unknown. Origin point unknown. Presumed to have collided, merged with a 1 kilometer comet. Assessment based on the depth of hydrocarbon crust covering the hull. Water content of the soil, atmosphere of the oxygen and carbon dioxide with isotopic ratios placing the comet in the Oort population. Low light foliage grown from terrestrial stocks. Mirrors focusing starlight into growth chambers. Residual fauna. 5 insect species, plus rats descended from uncertain ancestors. Surface heavily wooded until recently. Unknown event triggering firestorm. 70% of the world forest consumed. Atmosphere laced with smoke and particulates. Free oxygen in short supply. No distress calls noted. No evidence of crew or passengers on exterior. Interior scans inconclusive. Cleared to attempt approach. The fate of those escaping Earth during the collapse was once unknown, but here drifts a graveyard of lost ships, and among them, the realm of the Awoken. But the Awoken were not the only creatures in the Reef. The Fallen had seen the Reef as a great source for salvage and supplies, as did the Awoken. The bulk of the House of Wolves now falls under the control of the Queen of the Reef. There were many stories of how this came to be, but they are too varied for truth to be separated from rumor. One such rumor is the events of the Reef Wars and Tanix the Scarred's involvement. It is said that he killed many Awoken for the fallen cause, but in the end, an Awoken queen rose to overthrow the House of Wolves' Kell. This is from the Queen's Grimoire. I am noble too, O Lord of Wolves. Starlight was my mother, and my father was the dark. The Queen of the Awoken is as much an enigma as the Reef that she rules. It is said that she won her crown through ruthlessness, and that she stands as master of the fallen House of Wolves in place of their defeated Kell. But the city's rise spells an end to the Reef's age of isolation. The Queen will surely look to this new era as an opportunity, and the city, in turn, must look to her. The Reef-born Awoken have spent long ages out on the edge of everything, and they must know secrets of terrible weight, the Queen most of all. Now today, many Awoken live in the distant Reef, aloof and mysterious, but others return to Earth, where their descendants now fight for the city. Earthborn Awoken who venture back out to the reef, hoping to learn its secrets, find no special welcome from the reclusive queen. Now, the queen once had a conversation with her court in the prison of elders. For a while, the only lights were the eyes of the witches tending the cell. The drone of the soul machines echoed through the prison. Gas billowed and ebbed in the shadows. She entered. They scurried to their points around her, their method of arrangement precise. "The Archon priest has been retired, my queen," said the witch to her right. Far from the throne and audience she moved without theater. "Any words of Calyx Prime?" "We still sense something among the Anks." This voice from behind her, she did not turn to acknowledge it. For the span of a brief silence, she moved between the sealed cells of the wolf nobility with her witches in her constellation around her. "More of your brother's crows have entered the cauldrons of Rhea," the witch directly before her spoke with a dry buzz. "The 9 do not approve." She stopped for a moment to study the sealed face of the cell. The cloud of her breath mingled with the slow exhalation of cryonics. "Send them one of our prizes, something to commemorate our mutual victory." "And which of your prisons would you gift?" She paused to think. It was only for an instant. "Send them Skolas." "A lovely gesture," said the witch. She cocked her head as if listening for a frozen heartbeat. "And remind them of this. The crows are mine." Now let's look at what's said here. First, she speaks to witches. Now, I don't know if they are hive witches or just possibly an Awoken who have the designation of a witch. Now, the Awoken do have a few unusual properties about them. Petrovenge displaying the ability to control knives in air, for example. Now, next she is told that the Archon priest was retired but wants to know the status of Calyx Prime. Now, I believe this is a reference to Axor, the Archon priest. Axor is actually a disciple of Calyx Prime. The area that Calyx may be is an irregular moon by Jupiter known as Annex. The next part is very interesting. She is told the crows have entered Rhea's cauldrons. If you caught my Mystery of the Black Garden video, I told you there that the crows were actually just surveillance probes that the queen uses to spy. Rhea is the second largest moon that orbits Saturn, and the 9 are not happy. So to appease the 9, she gives them Skolas, the very same Skolas that we will hunt for in the House of Wolves. Lastly, the issue of the queen's brother. As the queen's confidant, spy master, and deadliest enforcer, her brother wields enormous power, particularly for a male born in the Reefs matriarchal society. Now, this is a type of society where the eldest female is the head of the family and plays central roles of political leadership. Now, recent reports suggest that he may differ from the queen on key matters of strategy, but it remains to be seen that whether this gap is a source of conflict or part of the reason why the queen values him so highly. I think this is a description of the queen at her brother's birth. I was nothingness. If I existed before, I existed as a possibility, as potential stretched thin across the aether. And maybe there was a body that looked like my body, complete with a soul that could be confused for someone rather like me. But what I am now is not yet real. And then I was born, and the universe was free to begin. Others were present at my birth. A great ceremony had just begun. Because newborns are selfish beasts, I assumed I was the object of attention. I didn't notice the singing until the singers fell silent, and then she appeared. She was above me, ethereal and handsome and elegant. I assumed my face was like her face, and that odd idea gave me strength enough to smile. "Secrets," she said. "Creation is built on secrets, and the encryptions that keep those secrets safe." I made my first sound. It meant nothing, but she understood it as a question. "We are a beautiful creation," she said, "and we must keep ourselves very safe." The queen is an enigmatic character, one who values information and secrets and safety. On her own Bestian outpost of the reef, an uprising has occurred. The fallen of the House of Wolves that she controlled and called her own have betrayed her. Skolas has freed himself from his awoken captors. The reef is now open to guardians so that you may exact revenge for her. The queen says to herself, "Now they will feel my wrath." But questions remain. What details are there about the reef wars between the fallen and the awoken? Why does the queen want to keep the 9 happy? And does her brother have his own agenda? Hopefully, we will soon know. Well, guys, I hope that gets you hyped for the House of Wolves. I know I am. Now, if you like this type of content, just hit that like button or leave a comment. Or if you want to see more, just hit that subscribe button. But as always, guys, have a good one.